Hayao Miyazaki has made a lot of films in his debut career as an animated director and had a lot of basically very good hits. From the classic, a lot of people mostly have known since Disney bought most of his films over, stuff like Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service, mm, Ponyo, The Boy and the Heron, and several others that I can't even name because he has made so many. But there are a few that people do like. Like I know a bunch of people that talk about how great Spirited Away was, and it's like they have a point. Or you hear people talk about how great Kiki's Delivery Service is. Again, great choice. Or like Howl's Moving Castle or The Cat Returns. But I think that there is one film that I say beats all the rest. And for me, it's my own personal favorite, so I'm a little bit biased against it, but we're going to talk about, and I did this a long time ago for No Taku, and we're going back and revisiting it and giving it a proper review. So why don't we go back and talk about our big furry neighbor? Greetings, geeks and nerds, and ladies universe and white and nerdy, and yet today we are taking a look at the critically acclaimed cult classic My Neighbor Totoro from Studio Ghibli, just to let people know. And just in case people have not seen this movie yet, I'm just going to say this to be forewarned that there might be some spoilers in this, so please go and watch My Neighbor Totoro, otherwise spoilers. My Neighbor Totoro is probably my favorite Miyazaki movie, and I've seen a bunch, and this one still to me is my favorite. And it's surprising that it became my favorite a lot more than like Spirited Away or Kiki's Delivery Service or even Howl's Moving Castle. And I really do like Spirited Away. It's still my second favorite film, but for the most part, My Neighbor Totoro is just my favorite to me, but for a very good reason that we'll talk about much later on. And you wouldn't think that this film would have such a positive message, but it took me about 3 or 4 rewatches in order to realize, oh, that's the message the movie had to offer, and that is a great and powerful message for anyone, especially either adults or kids. As such, why don't we go down the rabbit hole and see what life has to offer us? Let's talk about one of the most beloved family films of all time. Let's dive into My Neighbor Totoro and let me enjoy my favorite Miyazaki movie. And even though this is my favorite movie, I'm still gonna make some snarks here and there. But even still, I snark. But I snark out of love. Anyways, let's talk about My Neighbor Totoro and see if this film still holds up. In My Neighbor Totoro, we are introduced to the Tsuchikabes, a small family of 2 daughters and its father that are all moving to a new place to be closer knit to their mother who's ill in the hospital, where they meet a bunch of new neighbors and a bunch of new friends along the way, all of those who are helping to aid them upon their quest to their mother getting better while she is hospitalized and sick. One thing I have to dislike about the film is that they never fully state what the mother is sick with or why she's in the hospital to begin with. They just say that she's sick and is hospitalized. But it's not long before May runs into one of the guardians of the forest, one of the protectors of Earth, if you will. She runs into a fluffy being known only as Totoro. And Totoro not only helps them with a few of their life problems that they end up having, like helping them farm, helping them do whatever that they need to do, and etc., etc. He helps them discover something even more magical that you can never understand or really represent. He helps them understand their inner child. What the fuck is happening here? God damn it. See, Miyazaki films always have that hidden message inside of them, like Spirited Away is, you know, never be afraid to, try new things or try new experiences. When Kiki's Delivery Service is never be afraid of who you are. With Howard's Moving Castle, it's never be afraid of falling in love. It really goes to show you that the message in My Neighbor Totoro might not be really there for most people, but if you stop and think about it, you will know that I kind of have a point. Not that I'm exactly right, but I might have a point. My Neighbor Totoro goes for something completely different that no other film for Miyazaki, and in a sense, if you stop and think about it, really Disney really kind of establishes is one great message that basically could be represented in other films, but had never been replicated this beautifully. My Neighbor Totoro has the message of never grow up too fast. Always enjoy your childhood. Enjoy being a kid. And it's a really damn powerful and really good message to use for adults or kids. And let me tell you something, if you want to go and grab your kid and have them listen to this, never be afraid to be a kid. Let it last while you can. Never be afraid of just being yourself. Being a kid, you have no reason to grow up as fast as you think that you do. You are a wonderful and terrific being, and who cares if people say that you have to grow up too damn fast? I'm 30 years old. I still act like I'm fucking 12 or 10. Who cares? It's like you can grow up in your own way. And if you have kids that are very deep and imaginative, that's special. That means that you can do this with them. And you just have a great time of going back and being a kid, once and how you were back when you were your kid's age, for example. Now, the message what didn't really hit me until around my third or fourth rewatch. And the message comes in because you have to focus on our main character. Now, you might think that May is the main character. Kind of. Very similar with Grave of the Fireflies, it's like a misdirection where you think that this is the main character, but instead it's the other one. And in this case, it is Satsuki who is the main character in this, and the one that really goes through the character development, although it's not fully represented until about, I would say, halfway through the film with her. So, sorry for that voice crack there. So, what does this mean? What is the powerful message behind this? And, well, let's go into a discussion about Satsuki's character and why this is important in the film. When we first meet Satsuki, we understand that she is, well, a teenager. She's still going to school, but she cares about her little sister. She also cares about her father and mother very deeply. And we do see her acting like a kid, doing childish things, hanging out with her sister, making her sister feel, like she's not alone and being childish, that sort of thing. But it wasn't until she got a message about her mother in the hospital that it really put things into perspective for her and really had her realize that maybe she should grow up. Afraid about her mother and what's happening to her, she suddenly shuts out that inner child inside of her and tries to grow up, even though she's only a teenager. And then when her sister May went missing, she was the only one that pretty much could find her, and she knew what she had to do, become an adult and try to find her sister. But when she couldn't find her, she had to turn towards her imagination and turn to summoning Totoro. In order to find her sister, he was the only being capable of helping. As Satsuki had to embrace her inner child in order to find her sister. She couldn't do it her way, she had to do it the way that her sister would, like a child. And that's the reason why I really have to say that I enjoyed this film much more than you probably would have thought I did. It's because it took me 3 to 4 times to really understand the message. Usually in movies, I can figure out the message about like halfway through, but with this one, I was like, I don't get the message just yet. I don't get the message just yet. What is the message again? And then finally, it hit me like around my third or fourth rewatch, and I'm like, oh, that's a powerful message that they're trying to get across. Like, that is a beautiful, wonderful, and terrific message to use. It's that it basically is about people embracing their inner child. Of course. Why shouldn't it be? Because it's something that we as kids or as adults, excuse me, that we don't do much anymore is embrace our inner child, and that's not exactly never a bad thing to really embrace. It's a very good and powerful thing that we should do. The power of imagination is never something that you should just throw away on a whim. It's that something you should always keep, whether it's for yourself, your kids, if you're a teacher and you teach a class, or you have a very amazing special needs child or special needs kid that you work with. That is always something special that you can just fully embrace. And it's just a very wonderful and also powerful message that, yeah, you never want to forget your inner child, because once you ignore it, once you get rid of it, once you kind of like take it out of your mind and throw it away and never remember it, you suddenly start to feel the difference around that. You're more stressed out, you're not as relaxed as you would be. And that's why having an inner child, in my opinion, really matters the most, is because it really can help you, especially when you have those moments where you're so stressed out at the world, like it's because of work or it's because of a different related issue. Sometimes having that inner child is a very good way to go, and that's why I really do love My Neighbor Totoro. It's the fact that you must embrace your inner child. Not saying that you have to embrace your inner child to enjoy this movie, but maybe if you did, you might enjoy it just a tad bit more. My Neighbor Totoro to me is nothing short of magical, and I love this movie. This is a beautifully animated movie and a terrifically animated movie at that. Also, the voice cast is very terrific from who they have chosen for the voice talent. This is a very, very enjoyable animated movie, and it is one that you should watch whenever that you get the chance to, as it is nothing short of what I would consider amazing. So wherever that you can find it, however that you can find it, I would really recommend My Neighbor Totoro. It is an awesome, terrific, and really downright enjoyable animated movie. My Neighbor Totoro to me is just downright enjoyable. No matter how many times I watch it, I just can't get sick of it. It's just so enjoyable and just so amazing to watch. The animation is fluent and spectacular. The voice cast is just terrific in every single way of that word. It is just really enjoyable, and I really did love this movie from beginning to end. And no matter how many times I see it, I will always enjoy it, and in a sense, I will always be blown away from it. That's why my Funko Pop rating of My Neighbor Totoro is gonna get an Inuyasha, because no matter how many times I see it, it somehow always manages to blow me away. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified every single time I make a upload. And let me know what your favorite Miyazaki film is in the comments down below. And mine definitely would have to be My Neighbor Totoro. Just in my opinion, like the greatest, nothing can beat it. Just in my honest opinion. So let me know your favorites in the comments down below. And also, while you're down there, again, make sure that you do all the YouTube things, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, share this video around the web, hit that bell icon, because if you like my videos, you never want to miss them. Clicking the bell is the best way to be notified every single time that an upload happens. And also, be sure to follow me at Twitter with the link in the description down below, just in case you want to follow me, see what I'm doing behind the scenes, etc., etc. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I believe you for top what nerdy keep beacon on, and until next time, guys, and as always, enjoy your inner child, and take care.